If you're buying post-2021 capsules expecting pre-2021 returns, you're working against math and systems Valve put in place years ago at this point. So let's see what they moved. Welcome to the Sticker Report. I'm your host, Mike Water9. This is a series, a continuation on the Armory Report, in which we will alternate on Wednesdays between the two. That way, enough time passes so we have some actual fresh data to work with. Now, we tend to forget about stickers on this channel because the news cycle is constantly dominated by skins, cases, what have you. But do not forget, China originally came into the public eye because of their pumps of the 2021 Stockholm stickers. So to continue ignoring stickers on this channel would be doing it a disservice. So in this video and subsequent videos on stickers, we will cover majors, tournament teams, as well as the next majors coming up and any information we have on that. These stickers within the Armory, they will live with the Armory Report. Just a brief note, an amazing stream yesterday. We did an inventory review and tier list. Winner got an M4 poly suit because I give away investments, motherfucker. Congrats to Olem, whose inventory was fucking steez as hell. He had a piss grenade charm for every single gun he owned. That's like $7,000 in charms alone. We got some motherfuckers with keen eyes for fashion in this community. Tonight, we will do DE News China inventory review as we've been doing every week, in which we look at inventories of prospective pumpers. I will do it tonight, as tomorrow will be DE News China. As Friday, I will probably not be able to make a video, but I will make up for it with a Saturday upload instead. Now, since this is the first sticker report, I gotta lay out some groundwork. Now, we're going to mainly cover major tournaments here because that's where the value is and that's where the value rises. Autographs for 95% of the players in the autograph pool are extremely illiquid. Now, you could, in theory, price gouge them, but you need a lot of time, you need a lot of capital to wait, but you're also a scumbag, so it's not worth covering all too much, but we will if there's an important one. So we focus on teams. We'll also stick to 2019 majors to the present day. The stickers pre-2019 have very different fundamentals and have already made their price movements that made people a lot of money. And I don't think if you jump into those ones, you'll go down in price, but your upside is way less comparable to the ones post 2019. Now, the thing about stickers and the capsules is that they share actually a lot of fundamentals with cases with a look at the charts. Barring China and, their 1 month renaissance of all stickers, they actually tend to rise at a pretty steady rate. Now, I know that's not as exciting as a 10x overnight, but a steady, guaranteed gain is going to serve you much better oftentimes than trying to time a pump. So allocating some capital could be very worthwhile here, right? And it's not exclusive to the nice stickers. It's pretty much every single sticker from every single major. People did not like the Crack House stickers when they came out. People didn't like DreamHack 14 when they came out. And look where they're sitting right now. Now, to start off, there's a very important timeline that we cannot ignore with stickers. 2021 marked a fundamental change in how stickers work. Before this, the rarities looked like this. Blues, paper. Hasn't changed. Purples were holos. Foils were pinks. And golds were red. After 2021, the purple and pink rarities swapped, with holos being pink and foil purple. Now, this makes more sense from Valve's perspective. After all, the pink holos are the most sought after and thus carry a higher price point. So to make them rarer would only make more sense. But this changes capsule investing entirely and should change your outlook on the pricing of these capsules. Pre-2021, you could expect the holo every 1 in 6 capsules. Post-2021, 1 in 32. Now, there's two perspectives that can come from this, right? You may open more capsules because pinks are 1 in 32, but also prices could stay depressed because the ROI is less and thus people open them less. But with a structural difference in ROI and 5 years of data at this point, it's pretty safe to assume people just aren't opening them because the ROI is too low. So with this, and the fact that sales got exponentially longer with time, it's hard to see a world in which a Antwerp or a Copenhagen major capsule is going to rival something like Krakow or Boston. Their capsules ROI were higher, and the sale was much less, meaning less supply, and thus a higher base price. Now November saw the addition of the sticker slab along with the Budapest stickers, but people tend to still apply them anecdotally at least. If anything, the slab just takes up one extra supply of sticker that otherwise wouldn't have been used, even though you could technically reclaim the sticker in the future. So we have to track two things. We have to track the capsule yield as well as the application velocity of these stickers because both of these matter. Pre-2021, Stockholm seems to be the best play fundamentally. A borderless design results in it being a community favorite in terms of applications, and of course it also had the bonus of being the darling of China in terms of sticker caps. I do think they return to stickers eventually, Maybe they're waiting to cool off from the drama that surrounded the EG Holo, and their return may not be in Stockholm, but there is a reason they started with Stockholm. Now, Stockholm has a relatively low supply. The 2020 RMR major had a very, very high supply because sticker investing was seen as a surefire win, and everyone was home in 2020. Stockholm saw a comparatively lower player count, and people were traumatized from RMR, leading to a low relative supply. Now you combine Stockholm's fundamentals with the fact that holos were still purple in this capsule, and it creates a strong opportunity for buying the capsule outright and not any of the stickers individually. ROI is high. The holos were the most expensive stickers on the market during pump. Specifically which capsule? Probably Contenders. It's always going to be the least redeemed supply when the sale was active, and it houses quite a few teams that have relative good standing within the community in terms of how good they look on guns. Sharks, Tyloo, Renegades, Godsent, just to name a few. Before we go through the rest of the majors, your execution is worthless if you don't have the up-to-date and lowest prices available to you to purchase. That's why I work with UU Skins, today's sponsor. UU Skins offers direct access to the Chinese market, which can allow you to see sticker trends early and purchase them up to 30% lower than what Steam offers. Combine that with a massive seller list. Even the rarest and weirdest of skins, stickers, and charms are liquid on UU Skins, something not a lot of other marketplaces can say. Real-time data with buying patterns and the lowest prices is not a convenience. It's what separates losing money and making money in this market. Scan the QR code to support Mike Water 9 and UU Skin. Cheers. Now we look at the post 2021 major. Antwerp follows a similar reputation in terms of aesthetics, much like Stockholm. Clean, borderless, and the community likes them, reflected in the application numbers as well. But the ROI is hurt, and that's because this is the first capsule in which holos were pink. This makes the play different. You probably want to invest in individual stickers as opposed to the capsules themselves. Yes, the capsules will rise, but no, they will not reach the heights in which you see on the market for something like Atlanta or Katowice 15. Though, if you wait long enough, I'm sure the capsules will go up in price a decent amount. Antwerp also carries a lot of teams that are no longer in existence or never made another major again, which makes them the only source of supply for these stickers. It's also the first cap with glitters, which is a good and bad thing, I guess. Not a lot of people like glitter stickers, which is surprising to me, but glitters are no longer being offered in the newest capsules in 2025, so there could just be a supply issue even if people don't like them. Everyone knows about Paris. It was the last major of CSGO. Hype was at its peak for CS2, and it also had a 105-day sale. Supply like no other. People seemingly forgot about RMR. One look at the Steam market and you'll see most papers have over 1 million listings. So there's not much to do here. Capsules are so cheap at this point, if you put some money in them, it's going to be really hard to lose any more. They might see an uptick in the future, but I wouldn't count on it. There's better plays, better stores of value to keep your money. Now, Copenhagen's sale was as long as Paris, but again, people were traumatized, and CS2 in its beginning stages had a comparatively lower player count to the end of CSGO when CS2 was in its hype cycle. Now, these are my favorite stickers aesthetically. I think they look pretty much the closest we'll ever get to Cato 14s in the modern day. I also think the holos look fantastic. And weirdly, it has no interest on behalf of China. Even during the massive pump, none of these stickers got any attention. Shanghai is a little bit more of the same, relatively high sale period, but this one is starting to see some Chinese attention. The FlyQuest holo was like $80 fucking. This one is worth watching, and we'll watch it over the next few weeks before the next sticker report, as it seems to be the only major in which they're dipping their hands in right now. And they've been holding these Shanghai stickers for a while, so if you buy in, they could realistically dump on your head in those 7 days. Now, even with Shanghai getting the most attention, I still think Austin has the most room to run in this era of stickers. Now, Austin had a 48-day sale, which was cut in half from the previous 3 majors. This caught people off guard, leading to a decreased supply of capsules, and the Contenders capsule features 16 teams. This is, of course, in contrast to the usual 8. That means to keep the supply in line with the other 2 capsules, you need to open double the amount of Contenders capsules. But that doesn't happen because the Contenders are the worst teams in the major, thus having less fans and thus receiving less attention and less redemptions. So that makes it easier to pump by a coordinated group, for one, but it also benefits from having this many teams in it. So think about these sticker capsules in every other major. You have 8 teams and you have one major organizer sticker. 9 blues, 9 purples, 9 pinks, 9 reds. So if you get a purple, there's an 11% chance you get this major organizer sticker, which typically look like shit. Combine the fact that it looks like shit with the fact that it's in all 3 capsules, you have a high supply and a low demand sticker. So think of the major sticker as like a 00 in roulette. That's the house winning on that capsule. So when it hits 00, the house just wins all the money on the table. Now take the contenders capsule. Your odds of hitting that dud are now 1 in 17 per rarity tier. So less. So you have the supply constraint and you have the major sticker being less rare. And now you have 2 forces working for you that the other 2 capsules don't have in any capacity. Best capsule to open, best capsule to hold. The other 2 really aren't worth that much beyond a few individual stickers. It's also the only major in which the blues actually look good and have demand on their own merit beyond being the cheaper option. Not only does that help bleed supply of capsules and stickers, it also increases the ROI of opening the capsule in the future. And now, Budapest, the current play. I made a video detailing it in full detail. You could watch that video. The sale just started and you'll be able to sell those stickers from the first day tonight. Now, if you open a bunch of stickers on day 1, you should sell before the wave of supply hits the market, meaning as soon as that market opens. For me, it's 3 a.m. I'm not going to be up. I don't give a fuck. If you live in Europe, though, it's like 9 a.m. That's decent. Get in there, fill those buy orders before the prices start to tumble. At which, with the money you just received from selling, you now have a buying opportunity open up to you. Because after supply floods in, the next couple of days, we start to see local lows on a lot of the holos and golds that live within these capsules. And that's because people are just constantly throwing 7 days worth of capsule openings onto the market. During Austin, I remember seeing the Navi holo hit like $1.50 for the holo. I bought a bunch of them, and in 3 days, they were back up to like $6, $7. Fuck, whatever. As for holding the capsules, sure, I'm sure they'll go up eventually. Be wary, because people are now aware of Austin and them discontinuing the sale early, which could lead to increased redemptions for Budapest. On top of this, they kind of fucking suck, the sticker. Especially the embroidered ones. These things suck ass. You cannot tell the difference between them and a paper beyond like a little bit of brightness difference. There's no reason to purchase one on the market. So you're going to have a lot of dead ROI in those bottom 2 tiers. Your only ROI is going to come from the holos and reds. To be fair, the golds do look pretty decent in this one, but the golds looking decent doesn't help ROI because the probability associated with getting one is so low. Embroidered will hurt the capsule long term, and I do think it needs to be reformulated for the next major because I do think that one has potential to look good. If you're going to open any more right now, open Contenders. Same principles as Austin, and maybe a little bit better because phase is in that one. So there's your framework. You're realistically looking for high applications, low supplies, and ideally discontinued team because you know they're not going to be in future majors and thus hurt the supply in that. So a couple quick hits by major from 2019 until the present. Katowice 19. Probably the Vici Gaming is the only one in which I could see realistically going up. Maybe the Team Spirit old logo. That one looks better. Berlin 19. A lot of the holos in general are just underpriced, and I think that supply will eventually drive these prices up. I don't think they have too much demand, but eventually if you wait, I mean, some of these holos are like 30 cents. I do think the MIBR one is a little bit undervalued because of the Brazilian flag on it, which I think looks really good. For RMR, same reasoning, just look at some holos in general, and the VP holo because we saw some Chinese accounts accumulating it. Again, could be an idiot from China, but could be a pumper, who knows. Just pay attention to the price and buy one. Stockholm, I would buy the Contenders capsule itself, as ROI is much higher, as we spoke about before. For certain teams, maybe Copenhagen Flames, the Entropic Movistar Rider. For Antwerp, 9Z, the Outsiders, Cloud9, Eternal Fire, and surprisingly big, which wasn't popular but also seen some recent attention from China. Its price went from around $2 to around $14. For Rio, not much here. 00 Nation, the one that looks like a heart, as well as Cloud9. From Paris, the only team I like is 9 Glitter and Holo because I think it matches the print stream gun, and they haven't been in any major since. If the 9Z and Outsider sticker get too expensive from Antwerp, the VSM Fluxo autograph also looks like a pretty decent replacement. You could look into that one as well. In Copenhagen, Koi, Linvision, Eternal Fire, and Amcal, but all of them are pretty relatively cheap, so you could look at pretty much any stickers. For Shanghai, Rare Atom, FlyQuest, C9, and Mouse, who have a different colored logo this time, and I think a lot of the players like the all-white logo as opposed to the red one in which we are used to. For Austin, the Chinggis foil, obviously. Tyloo holo, OG, the liquid holo seems to be a source of Chinese attention. Complexity, and FlyQuest. For Budapest, Phase is going to be a huge one in the Contenders capsule. Tyloo, Vision, and again, Rare Atom. Since the embroidered stickers were such a flop, we'll have to see. But if they go back to foils, then I do like glitters going forward. Now, that's it for the sticker report today. Thank you for watching. Next time, since we have all the framework now, we'll go over each capsule, each major, and look at the price movements, see if there's any weird opportunities, see if there's any good opportunities to buy, seeing if there's any weird buying patterns, etc., etc. This will be DE News for a sticker. This was the first episode, so of course I had to lay the framework. DE News China tomorrow instead of Friday. Again, if you'd like to watch the stream and look at inventories, it will be tonight around 5 p.m. on Twitch, MikeWater9. I'll leave the specific time in the pinned comment, or you can find it on the Discord in the stream section. As always, peace.